Hello, everybody. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas. This is a fascinating story. Just came out on CBS 7 2 days ago. They're reporting about a big scandal at the Midland Legacy High School where a teacher allowed some kids to go into tunnels under the school and then locked them in there for a little bit. And so anyways, here, I'm going to jump right in. That's really important to me because I've documented tunnels all over Midland after being shot by somebody under my home when I just reported a suspected tunnel to the DEA 2 weeks earlier. Anyway, here we go. Irony. CBS 7 blocked me because of tunnel stories. CBS 7 News reported on May 5th at 6:39 p.m. that Midland ISD Police are investigating an incident at Legacy Freshman High School where a substitute teacher allegedly allowed students to enter a maintenance tunnel and prevented them from exiting for a short period of time. A friend tagged me on this Facebook post, but notice there's no like or comment button and only a share button. This is because CBS 7 has had me blocked for several years to keep me from posting about the crimes and murders connected with the tunnels and the underground homes. You can also see that 13 people laughed at me getting tagged, but I'm not allowed to defend myself since I can't comment. Isn't that ironic? CBS 7 posts a news story about tunnels while censoring me because they don't want me to post about the crimes connected with the tunnels here. I mean, just think about it. Okay, here I took a print screen of it. CBS 7 News, okay, and here's their news story about the big scandal in Midland. But what I'm pointing out, there's only a share button. There's no like button. There's no comment button. So when I get tagged on this, and I was tagged several times by people, I can't reply, And so here it was, Katie Bishop, she tagged me, 13 people or 12 people just laughed, thought that was so funny. Ha ha ha, ain't that funny? We're breaking homes and murder people in cold blood from a tunnel and the press won't report it and they'll block the crime victim, but they're reporting on this little story here. That's the irony of the whole thing. Okay, but the comments are just amazing because they're fact-filled comments. The first one comes in, here, let me switch this to all comments so we can get them all. First one come in from Hunter Bushman, and he's the grandson of John Bushman that owns CBS 7 News. They own A1 Mobile Homes. They own the mall. It's the ICA group. They own a whole bunch of stuff around Odessa. Anyway, the way I look at it, there's got to be maintenance tunnels regardless, not knocking your experience at all, just saying there are realistic possibilities that it's unconnected only because of architecture. And I wrote and I said I wasn't suggesting the tunnels at Lehigh are connected to the tunnels used for the secret underground homes here, but just pointing out the crimes and murders connected with tunnels at my home have been censored by our press. It's not just CBS 7 that's been hiding important news stories from the public about tunnels. I've also been I'm also blocked by the Midland Reporter Telegram and the Big 2 News, KPEJ. They have me blocked over on Twitter. Okay. Here was one of the comment. It was the picture I shared. Ricky Ronaldo said, I used to live in that house, my home, many years ago. When I was a kid, there were tunnels in the house, and me and my brother would always go down there. Tunnels under my home. So this is somebody law enforcement could talk to, but they don't want to talk to it. They know the truth. They're just trying to keep the public from finding out the truth. Hunter says, effing weird she trapped them in the tunnels, though. Was her name ever released? And I said, I don't believe they released her name or even explained why she did that. And that's what a real legitimate news station would do. They would ask the why questions, and we don't get the why questions. They just leave that out. And he's like, she's a weirdo and I hate her, the teacher that locked the kids in the tunnels. Okay, Sylvia Flores, she says, are they connected with the tunnels behind Home Depot? I said, that's a good question. I've wondered that too. I've heard of tunnels all over Midland, including downtown, connecting the tall buildings, at the mall, at the airport, at the North Walmart, and at under specific homes that have been named. And Sylvia says, it just keeps going on. I went to Lehigh, and I'm still hearing about tunnels. I saw that and I tried to tag you. Rhonda Burke said that. I saw this story and tried to tag you. A lot of people, it's a tunnel story. Let's tag Buddy. Thank you, Rhonda. I had a couple of people who tagged me. And Rhonda says, it's all going to come out eventually. The persecution you and all the other truth tellers have been through will not be in vain. I truly believe that. Thank you, Rhonda. And so then I started writing. I said 3 weeks ago somebody asked about the tunnels in Midland on the old Midland Facebook group, and several people talked about tunnels in Midland. One guy said that him and his friends rode motorcycles under the mall. Others talked about tunnels downtown connecting the old buildings, and tunnels at the North Walmart were brought up. Of course, I was tagged and talked about the many people that I've documented as saying that tunnels and underground homes are near my house, which is behind the Home Depot store. Tunnels are all over Midland, but that's rarely talked about by our news stations. And I have that. And what I did is I made a video of the comments in that Facebook group, and right after I got done, the admin, Doug Heck, he deleted the whole thread. And it was a valid thread, you know, really important, interesting information. It's just, I believe Doug Heck's trying to cover up the crimes and murders connected with the tunnels. I mean, that's what I suspect is going on. And it's just the same thing the press is doing. You know, that's how they keep the public ignorant so they can keep breaking into these homes and keep killing innocent people using our corrupt police and corrupt press. Jordan Sosa told me that they found a hidden tunnel in a home on Bedford Street. Interestingly, this home used to be owned by my former kidney doctor of mine. He said the tunnel under that home went several miles towards the direction of my home and the Home Depot store. They found rooms, beds, chairs, tables, dressers, and belongings underground, which looked like it had been recently used. Okay, I got a print screen. It's not Buddy said, Buddy said Jordan said that. Buddy said Jordan, he took a print screen, and he's got the address, 2011 Bedford, and he says, I was 17 doing remodeling work on a house in Old Midland, about 2 streets north of the stadium. We found a door where there shouldn't have been one. Us being kids, we got curious. We walked through the tunnel about 2-3 miles, going toward the direction of Target and Home Depot. That's where I live, according to GPS, where we used to find out where we were. We found rooms, beds, chairs, tables, dressers, and belongings. Looked like they'd been used on a regular basis. And there's the address. Interesting, like I said, that was our home. I looked it up on Midland County Appraisal District, and that home used to be owned by a doctor that was one of my kidney doctors before they sold the clinic. Ricky Ronaldo told me that him and his brother used to go in the tunnels under my home when they lived here. This is important since I was shot by somebody under my home with my phone lines cut and burglar alarms going off in the attic. They tried to murder me in my home, and I believe they killed the guy that lived here before me. And actually, I was told 4 people been murdered, died in my house. That's why the press is censoring the news about tunnels in Midland. Ricky Ronaldo, I used to live in that house years ago, and he says when I was a kid there were tunnels under the house. Me and my brother would always go down there. Once again, not Buddy said, Ricky said. Buddy took a screenshot so I could prove that's what Ricky said. Let's do some other ones. In 2015, a Midland homeowner called the police, reported they found a tunnel in the yard and smoke was coming up from it. Let's do it.
Wide and approximately 12 inches deep hole in her front yard. She says that it seems to be some sort of a tunnel and there's smoke coming from it.
Didn't hear that on the news. I recorded it from a police scanner. So it ain't Buddy said that, this somebody said. On my YouTube video named, Is This a Sex Trafficking Tunnel? Or Cornelius wrote, Good times down there. He'd already told me, he said that he'd been in the tunnels under my home and around this area. There it is. Coley Simmons posted on Facebook, and this was at that old Midland Facebook group. He said that he rode motorcycles under the Midland Mall while it was being built, and even went in the tunnels afterwards. Okay, and Coley wrote, there are tunnels under the mall. I rode my motorcycle in them while the mall was being built. And this guy says made up story, so he's trying to discredit him and cover up, for whatever reason, cover up the tunnels, and maybe he knows something about the crimes and murders connected with them. And Cully says, this is a guy older than I am. He said, I have multiple friends that can corroborate our experiences in those tunnels. Hey, it's a fact. I also managed a store in the mall and went down one of the tunnels after the mall had been open for several years. Good day, Alzheimer's. That's what he's told him, this rude guy that insulted him. Good day, Alzheimer's. And I shouldn't joke about that, I guess, right? says in 2021, a guy told me they found a tunnel under Midland home and sent me a video of it. This thing had millions of views, man. They were working, they gave the address. They were working on a slab leak. And I put the print screen to show it where he first sent me. That's the hole. They were looking at slab leak and found this hole under the kitchen floor in a house in Midland. That was hidden from the press. The press hid that one from us too, didn't they? They keep hiding information. And in January 2012, I called the El Paso DEA and the Midland DEA to report a suspected tunnel. I'm sure it's on their records, but they didn't look. And 2 weeks later, I was ambushed and shot by somebody under my home with my phone line cut and burglar alarms going on the attic. I've now identified over 50 other homeowners reporting people in the attic, more than a dozen in Midland. The question has been asked if somebody at the DA's office set me up to be murdered because I reported crime to them that they're supposed to be stopping. You know, and another valid question, did any other citizens, do their civic duty, call the law enforcement, call the DEA, and now they're dead, right? You know, because I was supposed to be dead, and nobody would have known I'd called the DEA, the El Paso and Midland DEA, and reported a suspected tunnel in Midland. Now homeowners all over the place, or people all over the place, documented these tunnels in Midland. And then I was showing I was telling them minutes after I shot, alarms kept going off. The burglar alarms kept going off over and over in my attic before somebody shot me with my phone lines cut. I crawled out to save my life. God saved my life. This was a miracle. I mean, that's all there was to it. It's a full-blown miracle right there. After I survived the murder attempt, I found what I believe is a tunnel going from the Home Depot store to my home. I believe this tunnel was used to access the underground home in my backyard that was hosting parties for the Permian Basin International Oil Show. I have reason to believe this is connected with human sex trafficking, so I showed it to Homeland Security in July 2019. 2 weeks later, the ground was dug up and concrete was poured. It looks like Homeland isn't trying to stop human traffickers, but help them. And I'm going to show you. I was back there, right there where you see that concrete truck and this concrete being poured. That's behind the Home Depot store in my house. I was back there 2 weeks earlier showing them where I believe this tunnel was going from the Home Depot store to my house. I found this on Google Earth historical maps, cut. See where the ground's cut, different color, coming right towards my house, right behind the Midland Home Depot store. A house where it said 4 people had been murdered, died. It's just amazing. Sylvia Flores just sent me a PM and said, I'm 51 years old, born and raised in Midlander. They can hide all they want, but I believe you 100%. I remember back at Lee High School getting invited to the tunnel parties behind Home Depot. Stay safe. The truth will come out eventually. It's starting in Jesus Christ's name. And there's a print screen. You know, she sent me that message, and I asked her, I said, can I share this? She said, sure, go ahead. It's true. Go ahead and share it. You know, she was invited to the tunnel parties behind the Home Depot store when when she was in high school at Lee High, and she's 51 years old. It's been going on for years. And it just makes sense that the infamous underground homes or bunkers in Midland are connected with tunnels. I've documented many people saying they're here, including a guy that was running for Midland Sheriff who I secretly recorded telling me these underground homes were the hideout for the late Sheriff Gary Painter. That's a video on YouTube, that secretly recorded phone call. It's been said there are 4 3-bedroom homes buried at least 25 foot deep. This underground safe house project was completed in 1987 with a budget on permit for $7.35 million and was put in for the Bushes. The Bushes are from Midland, as in President Bush, 2 of them. PBK was the engineering firm used, and they also built a school in Midland. A CAD programmer, Layla O'Brien, worked for them and provided some of these facts. Based on old Google Maps, one of the underground homes in my backyard is in my backyard, and I believe I know where 2 others are located. Interestingly, she said that it was $7.35 million on permit, and a lady went to get the permits from the city of Midland, was told they were accidentally deleted. How convenient, right? And here's the 50,000 foot view right here. Here's the Home Depot store, and my home's directly behind it. You can see where the tunnel was cut coming directly to my home. And then I believe I'm suspecting that there's another underground home over here on Westmont Court, and maybe in this empty lot right here where there's a water well. And here there's also a water well, brick mortar damage, a house right here by this church, Fairmont Park Church across. So I think I've found where 3 of the underground homes are at, where the parties were going on. I was told about a girl being murdered there at an old show party in 2010. And then the last comment was just Shelby Tyler says, News West 9 blocked me 11 years ago for defending my child who died against grown-ass bullies. I'm still blocked to this day. And I said, Shelby, I'm sorry to hear that. Isn't it ironic that our press censors people reporting important news that they won't report themselves? It's like Nazi Germany. I'm also blocked on the Midland Reporter Telegram Facebook site, and the Big 2 News has me blocked on Twitter, while I'm the crippled victim of a premeditated murder attempt that a large group of Midland police were involved in. It was proven that police were under my home on the night that somebody under my home shot me. This is about the tunnel scandal in Midland that just got reported in the news 2 days ago. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas.